All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Dee Dee with Power 3 Trading. Thanks for joining. I'm not here just to teach you the strat, but to teach you how to profit from the market using the strat techniques. If you have any more questions regarding the strat, please reach out to my guy, Rob Smith, at Smiths in the Black channel, Rob in the Black on Twitter, or at sepiagroup.com. So yesterday we talked about this, right? Yesterday was day one of what I call my 2 and 3 day flip, right? We also saw our dojis, right, on those 2 and 3 days. So our plan was to go short. The market was gapping down in pre-market. We were looking for short entries, and I was able to maximize, well, I was able to make a little profit off Qs, but I did not maximize my opportunity. So we'll talk about that, all right? But again, today is CPI day. So I'll just show economic calendar here. So core inflation, right, excluding food and energy, and then the consumer price index, right, CPI, high, and you can see here, right, here's what they're estimating. So it's interesting, core inflation, they're forecasting to go up a couple, 0.2%, and then forecasting CPI to go down. So what does that mean? They're looking for fuel costs to be in this number here, not excluding fuel costs to be in this number here. So they're looking for that to go down in the core number. So we'll see what happens, because we have seen a reduction in fuel. So the CPI number does include food and energy. The core number does not. So we'll see what happens here. But either way, guys, I think we're feeling the pinch. At least I am. So we won't really know what's going to happen today. So all I'm going to do is kind of go through the trades from yesterday, and we'll just have to wait and see if this market is going to trade lower. But keep in mind, with CCI trending down back below 100 on the daily, I'll be interested to see if it trades up and maybe back down, creating an outside bar in this daily. So I'm going to be really careful here. Let's look at the SPY. Same deal, right? This is actually inside 2 day, which is why I did not trade this. I prefer not to trade inside 2 days. Looking at how market is moving. Didn't do so much. So we'll see again what CPI is going to present itself to the market today. And IWM, same thing, right? Big inside bar here, inside off this outside bar here. So definitely came 2 down. So the short side worked for us yesterday. And I'll show you that I actually did just I just totally missed some trades because I had some other stuff going on and didn't see them. We'll talk about NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA actually was a gap down, right? We'll talk about how that's set up later in the day. And of course, I made a mistake on that, and I can't even say it was kind of a mistake, but and then Tesla, again, man, had I held on to my 850 put, this thing went all the way down to 836, and I was like, holy geez, I mean, I could have tripled my my investment on that, but I did not hold overnight. But tried to jump in, but it was too late. The move was over, so I missed it. But we're going to talk about those, okay? So let's just look at what I saw. We'll start with this 45-minute view, and then I'm going to show you the 18-minute view. And had I set this up, and why I looked at these and why I missed them, right? So here was the Qs, right? So this was the opening 45. I'm going to show you how I entered that actually on a shorter time frame using a 6-minute, right? SMH and the chips kind of gap down, didn't necessarily like those trades. We'll show you those in a 6-minute, and you can see how it's SPY traded at the open. I didn't really like, again, these moves primarily because they were stuck inside those 2-day ranges. Didn't like those. So I was right here, guys, on the bottom row. I was on the Qs, That was my interest. NVIDIA and Tesla. Microsoft actually traded up. So I didn't see a signal that I liked on here, especially with the broader market trading down. Coin again, didn't care for that. It reported yesterday, and then we'll look at it again today. Look at it today because you can see, yeah, surprise to the downside. So the earnings and revenue were not so great. So they're selling off today. But keep in mind there is probably going to be some level buying at some point, given the nature of the investment that BlackRock had in the company. All right. So you can see if you're looking at your 45-minute view, kind of what some opportunities were available to us here. NVIDIA, I actually took off the 45 and got triangled out. Why? Look at this mess on SPY and the Qs. So it wasn't just me. Maybe the entry wasn't the best entry. It was actually a 3-2 on an 18-minute. I probably should have held off on that. So I took a loss and then got back in it. But you can see on that 45-minute flip, this was right at 11 o'clock. This was just a mess. So the market just triangled out and took my stop. So let's talk about it. Let's start here with the Qs on my entry. Okay, so market gap down. So I want to wait for the 18-minute flip. Why? Because I don't have my signal. So remember, we talked about this yesterday. If you saw that video, if you're with me yesterday, we talked about the need to have a signal regardless of your time frame, right? So if your time frame is on the 6-minute or the 18-minute, the 45 to 30, you're looking for 2-2s or inside bars. And when you have gap or continuation, so this is a 2 down, 2 down, my preference is for price to trade 2 up and then 2 back down, continuation. Right? So this is a 2 down on 18. This is a 2 down on 18. So I needed my signal here, which we got, and it was a nice one. We got this signal here, right? So we wait till our 18-minute flip. This is a gapper. It gapped down, and when it's inside, it went 2 up. Why are we not trading this higher, guys? Because CCI is trending below negative 100. So I am not looking to go long here. I'm waiting for a TTO so I can go short on this 18-minute flip. I did right here. Okay, right here. Remember, we're not drawing broadening formations, guys. It traded right down to its average daily range and reverse. Unfortunately, I had a bad exit. I should have exited as soon as this came back up here, but instead I waited it for that flip. This started to come back in. And the only reason for that is because I was thinking maybe price would continue to trade to take out this level. I had another line drawn here. So it's like maybe it'll trade lower. It did not. It did not. So it took out this range. And I'm going to just draw this line here in this so you can see just how close that was to its ADR. It took out this range, and as soon as it came back in, I should have been exiting. I waited to this flip, lost some of my profit. Boy, you know, trading options are tricky, guys. It's amazing how quickly this thing moves when price crosses back over here, how much you lose on your option. So anyway, so made a couple dollars here, but you can see, as we talked yesterday, this would look a little different, right? And the reason for that is we were going 2 up, 2 down versus the way the market was trading in the previous days, because CCI was crossing back below 100. I was looking for a short here. The previous days, guys, we were reversing off to 45. So this was an open and trade. This was an open and trade. 2 down, inside, 2 up, 2 down, right? Taking this 18-minute, 2 down, 2 down continuation. Stalls out here, take your money. Okay, let's look at NVIDIA. This was my next trade, and I'll show you how frustrating this was. So the market right at this 90-minute flip started to sell off, right? So we had this little it's not really a shooter. It's at kind of at the bottom of the range, but the opening day, right? So I did not take this at the open. All right, I was in the queues. I didn't like the open on this NVIDIA, but this is where I'm gonna flip this over. Remember, because this was a two down continuation. So the way I like to trade these, this is two down continuation on the daily. I want to see a two up on the 18-minute, two back down. And so here is probably why I should not have taken it. So I'm going to flip this back to the 45. Here's what I saw. I had an inside 45, guys, and you can see CCI here still well below 100. Wrong candle, wrong date. Here is my inside here. CCI is still below, well, it actually was just above 100, but in the sell zone. 90-minute below negative 100 in the sell zone, right? In the sell zone, in the sell zone. All right, so waiting for my signal. Price went outside, and then here's my 90-minute flip. I took the trade off of the inside 45. Okay, so I'm gonna just draw this line here so you can see what that looks like on the 60. On the 6. I took this trade right here off of this 6-minute chart. Guys, it traded below, right? This 45-minute inside bar, traded back up. How frustrating was that? Stopped me out, only for it to go straight back down. Now, here's the thing. This was a two down. I'm looking at the 18-minute. Inside, outside, two down. Guys, my first two up did not happen until here. So when I look back at it, I was like, you know what? Your signal is two up, two down on the 18-minute. Just think about that for a minute. When the market is trading two down on the day, my signal is two up, two down continuation, right? So remember the daily pattern was a two up, two down. A two down continuation. So I want to trade this two up, two down. There was an entry here if I had taken that. Else the next move didn't happen until it went two up here. This is an actual outside bar. I went outside two down, right at that 45-minute flip, which is also the 90 flip off that inside bar. And as I discussed, the Qs triangled us out, and the NASDAQ, S&P, they both went up, came right back down. So I ended up taking a loss here, guys. Jumped back in right here. Exited right around the ADR. I think I exited right around here. It came up, came back down. Technically, I guess if I had held it, I probably would have made my money, but I also reduced my risk. So I reduced my risk. So even with that, I was able to make half of that back. So still a loss on NVIDIA, but it wasn't as bad. We ended up, with a small win for the day. Let's talk about Tesla real quick. Okay, so Tesla, I actually just missed. Now, again, I know this is going, and I actually want to change this color. I changed this color in all of my other times. So let me just do that. Because I'm using that orange color for something else. So anyway, so I knew we were going to go short here, right? Because it had gone two up, two down on the day. So we know we want to short Tesla. Now it's a matter of time. Again, what's my actionable signal on the 18-minute? It's a two up, two down. Two up, two down, guys. Where did we get our two up, two down? This is an outside bar. This is a two down. This is an outside bar. This is an inside bar. Oh, two up, two down, right at that 11 o'clock flip. Again, same deal. TTO'd, which was a mess, but it actually probably wouldn't have been as bad as NVIDIA. But either way, it TTO'd. So you still maybe possibly would have taken a loss if you had, would depend on where your stop was. Here then becomes your next entry. So let's say you took it here. I'm going to go back to our 45-minute. Let's say you took that entry here. You're inside this 45-minute time frame, trading down. So the short is the right, and you can see this on the 90. The short side is the right trade. Got TTO with everybody else. You're right back in this game, though. You're right back in this game. So your 45-minute flip is at 11:45. So even if you had waited, CCI crossed back down, waited for this inside bar to close, CCI crossed back below -100 here. I tried to get in, but my entry was late. I got in here, right, when it crossed below the average daily range, made a couple dollars, traded down, came back up, exited. Dumb me tried to take this again, looking at this continuation here. I was like, and I think I had a line drawn somewhere. I was trying to see if price action would trade. Was it here? It may have been there. It had gotten close, but I held it. I tried to, I think it was here. And I tried to get back in thinking price would, that's at 837. I remember the number. I tried to get back in here only for price at TTO. I was over leveraged. I had more content. Tesla, I do not, because it's so expensive. I ended up with 2 contracts because of my system setup. It went back in. I lost some of the money I made here. So I should have had a much better day, but just didn't trade it so well yesterday, guys. So ended up with a small, tiny profit, but it wasn't a loss. So I felt pretty good about that. I was like, well, it wasn't the worst day that I've ever had. So that's where we are. So again, the market is light today, guys. We talked about this coin. Let's look at it because the CPI data. So it's really kind of hard to see which way the market is going to flow. But looking at Coinbase, we just drew this line here, I think, when a couple days ago. We were like, this is the open on the 3-day. So I'm going to just remove that. It's not relevant. But look at the gap it's trying to make, right? So we had this gap up on the BlackRock announcement that had taken a stake in Coinbase, and then the market traded down. Then it did much of nothing, right, inside here. And now it looks like it wants to take this gap. Okay, guys, so 82, was that 82.25? So let's see what happens. But again, with CPI data coming out, not sure how we're going to play this. So keep in mind, and our ADR has been working nicely for us, right? Using our longer time frames, 2 up, 2 down. Even though I got TTO'd on NVIDIA, the strategy works nicely. Okay, strategy works nicely. Use your TTOs on the shorter time frame. Stay with your direction until you see a reversal on that 90-minute. So on coin, the way we're going to play this is the same, right? So prices, it's gapping below yesterday's low. So we'll see our red line here, right? Where it's right at that white line. It's hard to see, but you're going to see your red line, right? Will form right after this close. So, I mean, right as the market opens. And so price has to trade below the low, below yesterday's low. We're going to look for a short position. We're going to use our average daily range. Price gaps down, comes back above the low average daily range. We're going to use our CCI to help us with momentum to see if we can trade this higher. Else, we'll look to continue the short. And then what did we say our gap was? 83. Let's just put that on here on the daily. And we'll look for price to, hang on, let me remove all these other lines. and then we'll look to see if price closes gap. But this is a big day here. Let's look at this on the 90. You have quite a bit to try to trade through on this 90-minute on this day right here, right? So if it trades below this gap, right? So this is our gap. So it trades back inside this range. This is what you're looking at, guys, on a 90-minute. You got these two up, two up, two up, right? So you got this guy right here. It's going to have to take this inside bar down to try to take this out, and you'll just track your 90-minute ranges to the downside. We won't draw the lines, but just keep that in mind. We're using our 90-minute candle as our enforced candle. So if price trades below yesterday's low, wait for the market to open to see how the CPI affects the open, and then you'll look to see where ADR is, and then we're going to look to see how it trades. If price trades below the low ADR, of course we're looking for shorts. If it gaps down and trades back above ADR, above the low ADR, we'll see if price will go higher, and then we'll use our high ADR as our target, right? So let me see if we can write that in. So we're going to short below yesterday's low, which was short below 85.60 with CCI below negative 100 on 18-minute. Okay. If price trades below the low ADR, short continuation. If price trades above low ADR, potential reversal with high ADR as the target. Okay, so again, we're going to use our ADR since we're not drawing our broad information, but keep in mind, they're going to be, you got levels inside here. Price action will have to take out on that 90 if it's going to trade back above the low ADR, and then we'll use that high ADR as our target. All right, good. So we're going to wrap it there because honestly, we're just waiting to see what happens with CPI to see how we're going to trade this market. But remember, our scripture, Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to advantage, guys. But those who are hasty lead surely to poverty. I don't like that word at all, but I didn't create it. Listen, we have to wait, like I did yesterday with the Qs. You have to wait to see if you're going to trade this market, which direction it's going. We just don't know in the first 3 minutes or the first 6 minutes. I don't know how you can tell that. But if you are a minute man, woman, if you can trade on that shorter time frame, none of what I'm talking about even matters, because you're simply entering on a very short period of time frame and you're in and out. But if you're trading directionally for the day, this is, in my opinion, the best way to trade it, using waiting for that 15-18-minute flip to give you some direction. Because if you're like me, I like to hold and try to maximize my the potential on a trade, and then I make my move. But then once it goes inside the next 18, you have to exit that position, because we don't want to lose all of our profit. Only because, again, if you're trading options, guys, it's just kind of tricky, right? You lose your premium, you trade up, it tangles you out, trade comes back down right at what you entered on, but we don't want to lose that profit going up to a point where we're saying, gosh, we just lost all our money. Then we exit and we come back down. But that's exactly what happened to me in NVIDIA yesterday. And that's why I was frustrated and saying, wow, You know, had I not taken this 3-2 down and waited to my 2 up, then that 2 down, much better entry. And you can see I did jump back in, but at a lower risk. So we can make money, guys. We can make money doing this. Unfortunately, I can't be glued to the charts right now, to the market, because I have some other things, other commitments. But it's doable. All right. Stick with the plan, guys. All right, we're going to wrap it there. I appreciate you joining. Take good care, everybody.